So the goal for tonight, my personal goal, is that we can break through some of the generational stereotypes and really start to understand how these world changes are affecting not just the workplace, but really how we're all working individually and how we're interacting with each other. Millennials, for the first time ever, have surpassed all other generations and are officially the largest working segment of the US workforce, as well as the global workforce. As of last year, just over half of all three of these generations reported, "I'm least likely to get along with someone from a different generation." So all that hype is real. There's something there about how we think about each other in terms of age or perception of age. I remember my dad worked for a pretty famous technology company growing up, so we always felt we were a little bit ahead of the trend. And he had a cell phone, and it came in a briefcase. Do you remember that? And it was very Miami Vice, and you pulled it out, right? And we had a video camera, which was pretty cool, and you had to put it on your shoulder, and you could make videos. So we know between this Gen X and this millennial group is when technology really transformed. And that's the first part of our story in terms of where this perception of a divide is coming from. It's truly around the technology piece. Gallup told us in 2015 that just about a third of the US workforce marked "I'm engaged" on the survey. Yes, I'm engaged. What was really scary to me was not that. It was that slightly over half said I am not engaged. Now these are people who are working, getting a paycheck. So I call this quit but stayed. Millennials on that survey were the #1 group to say, "This is not working for me. I'm here, but I don't necessarily love it. And if I don't love it," because loving it is a need for many millennials, according to these surveys, is I really want to have, I expect to have some connection with this job, some meaning with this job, right? So millennials are basically saying this is not necessarily where I want to be. And if you break those questions down a little farther and you ask millennials on that survey, what is it that you're not getting? It's usually around three things. It has to do with career development, so that however the question is asked, they're saying, I'm not getting developed, I'm not getting feedback, I'm not getting training, and I don't like my manager. I don't like my manager because they're the ones who should have my back. They're the ones who should be pushing for my career, they should be mentoring me or get me a mentor if they can't do it. I did this fascinating study. I asked millennials, how long do you believe you should be in your role in good performance standing, so you've been told you're doing a good job, before you are given a promotion? Right? So when I asked millennials that, how do you think they answer? Yeah, right now you're giving me a number, right? They give me a number, and I heard 6 to 9 months, a year. It usually averages out to be about a year, right? I get some 6 months, some 18 months. When I asked their manager the same question, right? How long should your employee be in their role in good performance standing before they get promoted? How do they answer? Exactly. There's no one answer because the manager will say a couple things. One, it depends. So it depends on the need in the company, the budget that I have, how many people are competing for that role. Or my favorite answer is, it took me 5 years. But if you think about a millennial and a Gen X or boomer manager having this conversation about careers, they're not actually having that conversation that I just quantified for you. Both of them are coming in, though, with that thought, it took me 5 years and I should get this in 6 months. But the conversation looks very different. And if you have a time frame and they have some kind of time frame that don't align, it just causes frustration. And the manager, either the millennial will ask and say, well then I'm ready for my promotion. I'm here and I did pretty good this year and where is it? And then the manager says entitled. Want something before having earned it. And this is where the mindsets are getting a bit of a clash there. So the message here to millennials is that regardless of how awesome you are and how talented you are and how good you may be at these things, other people that sign your paycheck and make your decision on your promotions are not seeing it. That's the message. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It means there's something in their head and there's something in the way you're doing it that it's not aligning. But if you have this information, you know that, then it gives you some power because then you can start to think about, how am I communicating this? Can I do it in another way? Or can I simply just ask my manager, hey, I just learned that millennials are getting rated really low in their communication skills. What can I do to make you think I'm communicating better? It's that simple of a question that no one's asking.